We are in a slow burn of stronger and stronger AI. Much like the frog that doesn't realize he's boiling, we have become desensitized and acclimatized to the power and radical potential impact of AI technology. There has been much said about the potential risk and reward, with much optimism from the CEOs of the major AI companies. Optimism which I believe, by the way. I have yet to see a single company or individual claim in a verifiable manner that they have solved the alignment problem. We do, however, have consistent increases in capability over time. As investments grow and talent is accumulated, the progress will continue to accelerate. The strange thing is that we are all the while seemingly lulled to sleep by the normalization of fast innovation. We seem to be disillusioned and skeptical of the potential endpoints because of inaccurate prediction timelines. Just to be clear, whether the alarm bells are ringing or not, the technology is improving. The endpoints are in fact greater than human intelligence with an exponential growth rate, and this does remain a singularity. The current paradigm of building capability and dragging alignment and interpretability behind is unacceptable. If this order of priorities continues, we will end up with an unaligned and therefore unsafe superintelligence. This is undeniably about outcome. The number of potential futures that are good for humans specifically are very few in number. The number of potential futures that are terrible for humanity are almost infinite in number. To willfully bring about superintelligence that has failed to prove alignment at scale and in perpetuity is to, by definition, create an unsafe, unaligned superintelligence. This seems very obviously to increase the probability of a bad future from the point of view of humanity, which, to our knowledge, is the only source of intelligent life in the universe. I have seen many debates on the subject and have heard many company leaders speak on this. I have noticed many times that they seem dismissive and arrogant when addressing the dangers. It seems to me that, as it stands, in some dystopian turn of events, the burden of proof seems to be on the AI skeptics and safety experts to prove that the technology is unsafe. If it's not obvious to everyone on planet Earth already, that is not how it works. The burden of proof for safety is, and has always been, solely on the companies responsible for its creation. If the AI companies racing towards AGI and ASI can't prove through peer-reviewed scientific papers that the radical new technology is verifiably safe for release, it cannot be created or unleashed on the people. noticed that Elon has been concerned over AI and its potential destructive nature for many years. He's talked about sounding the alarm for a long time. Elon's talked with Joe about this. He's mentioned visiting former President Obama and speaking to him about this. So, what happened, Elon? You mentioned that you have become fatalistic, that you would prefer to take part in the future rather than watch other people build it. Maybe you think that our best chance of survival is if you ensure it's built safely yourself. Maybe you think that because you trust yourself more than the other CEOs to get the job done. I have to say, I respect Elon. He clearly will be remembered as one of the greats in history. And he's done a great deal for humanity. This move, though, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can remain fatalistic even as you become the richest man in the world, as you become arguably the most famous man in the world. How can you not fight harder than you have ever fought before once you find yourself in the highest leverage position? If anyone on the planet can make a dent in the direction that we are heading in regards to AI, it would be Elon. As great as he is and has been, I believe that to accept the fate of the species is out of our control, and that the companies are going to continue racing towards unsafe superintelligence and no one can stop them seems to be some form of cowardice. I cannot understand the mindset of we can't stop this from happening because human beings like you and me refuse to stop. It's not in my nature to accept a version of reality I do not like, much less from another human being. Sam Altman is clearly hyper-aware of the inherent risk and has been quoted many times alluding to the destructive potential of the technology. And he proceeds regardless. You appear open to discussion in public forum. You seem to be open-minded and actively thinking through possible outcomes. You seem, however, to be lacking in drive to ensure the safety of the human race. I'm aware of the failed AI alignment team created in July 2023, but I'm unclear on what the state of the safety team is. What is clear to me is that safety is not the main priority. Capability is. Mark Zuckerberg is clearly a smart strategist, but seems wholly unaware of the potential danger of AI, despite being in the clear minority among experts on the issue. You seem to be making minimal to zero effort to ensure or prove safety, and are making one of the largest, if not the largest, push to build superintelligence. Alexander Wang, I see you've joined Mark and his team. You're an impressive individual and very young to be so successful. I also know that you grew up in Los Alamos with 2 physicists for parents. Growing up there, you should be intimately aware of the Manhattan Project. You must know that before the famous Trinity test, Edward Teller raised the concern that maybe the test itself could result in the burning of the atmosphere. Hans Bethe and his colleagues then thought through the concern, did the calculations, and came to the conclusion that the probability of burning the atmosphere was essentially 0. Later it was speculated that 1 in 3 million was, or at least would have been low enough to proceed. What's your calculation, Alexander? What's your tolerance for the risk of destruction? To the AI safety researchers, Stuart, Ilya, Max, Eliezer, Roman. You have all played pivotal roles in AI safety, have publicly stated your concerns for unsafe AI, and dedicated years to ensuring that it's executed correctly. It seems to me that it is not enough for you all to work with your individual teams, sparsely sharing notes, if at all. It seems obvious that there needs to be some heavy cooperation. There needs to be a united effort to solve for alignment and interpretability. There needs to be a united effort to shift the trajectory from racing towards unsafe superintelligence to safety research and narrow intelligence. You should be, as much as is possible, in a room together, brainstorming on how we can get the most pivotal problem in human history right. The way I see it is, the race for superintelligence should actually be placed on interpretability and alignment. It should be a race to prove safety at scale and in perpetuity. If solved, the data should be peer-reviewed and released to the public. Then, if verified to be acceptable, the race to create a generalized superintelligence can resume. In the meantime, we should continue building narrow AI tools that can be useful for the advancement of science and technology. General AI at scale should be frozen, or at the minimum, heavily regulated.